Imagine a four-time Formula One world champion stepping into the rain-soaked chaos of the Nürburgring, not as Max Verstappen, but under a secret identity. What would drive the most fearless driver on the planet to risk everything on one qualifying lap? This isn't just a side project, it's a high-stakes gamble that could change the future of his racing career forever. In the next few minutes, we uncover how Verstappen's undercover mission at one of motorsport's most dangerous circuits reveals a bigger story, one of ambition, precision, and pure adrenaline. What if I told you that Max Verstappen has been operating under a fake identity at one of motorsport's most dangerous circuits? Why would a four-time Formula One world champion risk everything on a rain-soaked qualifying session that could end his endurance racing dreams before they even begin? And how did a single qualifying lap in a detuned Porsche become the key to unlocking one of racing's most exclusive clubs? These aren't just rhetorical questions. Based on the events that unfolded at the Nürburgring this weekend, Max Verstappen just took his biggest gamble outside of Formula One, and the implications go far beyond what most people realize. Let's start with the facts from the weekend. Verstappen completed his first Cup 3 qualifying session at the Nürburgring, where he secured 6th place in treacherous wet conditions with a lap time of 10:21.591. Now, that might not sound earth-shattering until you understand what was actually at stake. This wasn't just another celebrity driver having fun on the weekend. Verstappen was racing in a deliberately detuned Porsche 718 Cayman GT4 RS, a machine that's been stripped from its original 425 horsepower down to just 300 horsepower and weighted to 1,350 kilograms to meet Cup 3 regulations. Every single element of this exercise was calculated, measured, and designed for one specific purpose. The real pressure comes from understanding the DMSB permit Nordschleife Grade B requirements. According to the regulations, Verstappen needs to complete 14 incident-free laps and race at least 20% of an event distance. One mistake, one off-track excursion, one moment of overconfidence, and months of preparation get thrown away. But here's where the story gets more complex. Around 50,000 fans showed up to witness this qualifying session. That's not just casual interest, that's the kind of crowd that creates its own pressure, its own expectations, and its own consequences if things go wrong. At first glance, you might think this is simply about Max expanding his racing portfolio. After all, plenty of F1 drivers dabble in other series during their downtime. The 6th place qualifying result in wet conditions seems respectable for someone new to this type of racing, especially when you consider he finished significantly ahead of his immediate competition by over a minute. His partnership with sim racing specialist Chris Lulham at Lion Speed GP appears straightforward enough, two drivers sharing an entry, working together toward a common goal. The preparation through extensive simulator work makes sense. Everything seems logical and methodical. But what I'm about to tell you reveals the real reason why this weekend was make or break for Verstappen's entire endurance racing future. But the evidence suggests this is far more calculated than it appears. The timeline reveals a different story entirely. Here's what changes everything. Verstappen has been operating under the pseudonym Franz Herrmann during recent testing sessions. Think about that for a moment. A four-time world champion, one of the most recognizable faces in motorsport, felt the need to use a fake identity for his preparation work. During these undercover sessions, according to the available information, Verstappen broke an unofficial GT3 lap record. This wasn't casual testing, this was systematic, methodical preparation designed to maximize his chances when it mattered most. The simulator work, the secret testing, the careful selection of his co-driver, every piece was positioned for this exact moment. The data tells us something crucial. Despite being new to this specific type of racing, Verstappen demonstrated considerable pace in challenging conditions. Rain at the Nürburgring is unforgiving. It separates genuine talent from reputation, and the fact that he not only completed the session incident-free but did so with competitive lap times reveals the depth of his preparation. This connects directly to his immediate next step. If successful in meeting the permit requirements, Verstappen aims to step into GT3 machinery at the NLS 8 event later in September. That's not just progression, that's acceleration toward his ultimate goal. The implications of this weekend extend far beyond one qualifying session. Verstappen's long-held ambition of racing at the Nürburgring 24 Hours represents one of motorsport's most exclusive achievements. The event attracts manufacturers, professional teams, and elite drivers from around the world. Success there would place him in a category occupied by very few active Formula One drivers. Consider what's at stake for his Formula One career as well. Every lap at the Nürburgring carries risk. The circuit's reputation for punishing mistakes is well documented throughout motorsport history. One significant incident could impact his primary career in ways that extend far beyond the immediate physical consequences. The timing is particularly significant. With Formula One's current schedule and the intense physical and mental demands of competing for championships, dedicating this level of preparation to an outside project represents a major commitment. The fact that Verstappen is willing to make this investment suggests the Nürburgring 24 Hours goal isn't just a casual ambition, it's a priority. The upcoming NLS 8 event in September becomes crucial. Success there would validate his approach and move him significantly closer to his ultimate objective. The transition from Cup 3 to GT3 machinery represents a substantial step up in both performance and complexity. Several questions remain unanswered as we look towards September and beyond. How will Verstappen balance the increasing demands of his endurance racing preparation with his Formula One championship obligations? The level of commitment required for Nürburgring success doesn't diminish just because he's completed this first step. What happens if the NLS 8 event doesn't go according to plan? The pathway to the 24 hours requires consistent performance across multiple events, and motorsport rarely follows neat, predictable trajectories. Perhaps most intriguingly, what does this reveal about Verstappen's long-term ambitions beyond Formula One? The investment in time, preparation, and risk suggests this isn't just about adding another trophy to his collection, it might be about establishing credibility in a completely different form of motorsport. The evidence from this weekend shows that Verstappen's Nürburgring mission is proceeding according to plan, but the most challenging elements lie ahead. September's NLS 8 event will provide the next critical data point in this evolving story. What do you think drives a Formula One champion to take these kinds of risks outside their primary career? And should other F1 drivers be paying attention to how Verstappen is approaching this transition? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure you're subscribed because we'll be tracking every development in this story as it unfolds.